So this was essentially the part that was cut out of the last video when I was talking about Spence finally got backed up. This is what I mean. Big heavy counter lands, Spence eats it, and then his reaction is he's backing up. You can see him taking back steps. I'm not gonna be able to show the full stuff because Showtime is on my neck. And so you see him taking back steps. I'm only gonna show seconds at a time, less than 3 seconds at a time. So I'm gonna be pausing a lot, and that's not gonna change because Showtime is aggressive. And I gotta be aggressive with my pausing. Let's go. Basically, a summary of the first part is that Spence looks like normal Spence. He doesn't look slow. He doesn't look weird. His legs look fine. He's throwing all the same combos up until he gets caught with that jab that I just showed you, that power jab, that power counter jab. Wow, he's punching, emphasis on that, which I said in the previous video. And that backs him up. That slows him down. He starts looking a little bit different. But then he come out in the second round, he's looking like the same Spence. This is what I mean. He's throwing a classic combo and it looked fast. That's a nice 1-1-4 combo we used to see from him. He looks like Errol Spence still. Then what's interesting is the moment immediately after he lands the combo. Watch how he responds. Crawford hits him with that jab and he jumps back. Normally you see Spence jump back in response, especially early on, which I said before when he's laying that foundation. He's very defensively responsible in the sense that when he's working, he'll jump back in response to big counters coming his way. But those are big counters, like right hands, left hooks and stuff like that. When he sees those shots coming, he jumped back. That was Bud's jab. So I said in the video, I said in my previous breakdowns, I said Crawford got to earn respect, 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 respect. He did that with his jab. He earned the respect early on with his jab. Errol Spence gave the respect to Bud's jab so much that he would jump back like it was a power punch. And then here is an interesting moment, and then the next moment is also interesting for a few reasons, but I'll show it real quick and then pause like I said I was gonna do because I gotta pause. And he backs him up against the ropes. But what's interesting about that to me is that he really forced that. And so kind of one of the overarching themes of this specific video is desperation, meaning that when you out of options, how do you respond? And normally people don't look like themselves when they're out of options. Oh, weird, right? So he forces all those pros and all those jabs just for the purpose of getting them against the ropes. He's trying stuff out. He's like, I gotta back this dude up. I gotta get in a position where I can work. He's getting desperate, and so he's trying to he forced that attack really heavy, and Crawford just responded by covering up. Once Crawford covers up, gets control of him, he basically neutralizes him, and Spence can do nothing. And that's one thing I was definitely wrong about. I'll show a clip real quick. With Crawford, he's great at neutralizing people, but he has holes in that game, and he's been caught up by inferior inside fighters, in my opinion. And so I think Spence is going to take advantage of some of those openings if it becomes an inside fight, and he's going to put in some really good work. I said he wouldn't be able to neutralize Spence on the inside like how he did everyone else, but he neutralized Spence on the inside like how he did everyone else, so I was wrong there. So he's going to put up the high guard again, and then Spence is going to come forward with his jab, and that's when he's able to time him. So he baited him to get the reaction he wanted. Once the reaction comes out, he has a response to that reaction. Bait and counter. Here Spence is trying to force the same type of thing, but his weight is stuck on the front foot, so Crawford can unload a combo, which is something a lot of people saw, especially coaches and people like that know more about the fundamentals than me, and you know, more elite level analysts. But that weight being on the front foot just leaves so many opportunities for counters, and unlike a lot of previous opponents, Crawford's really gonna lay it on him, and he did lay it on him. He made that mistake a few times, and each time he got punished. So back to the theme of desperation. He's trying to turn up the pressure. He's trying to land those combos. He's trying to land combos and big shots. And then you can see him trying to walk down Crawford, trying to I don't want to say bang on Crawford because that sounds a little bit weird, but trying to you know, hit Crawford upside his head, trying to damage him. He's trying to land something, and that's kind of part of the attitude that makes Spence such a great fighter and such an entertaining fighter, is that if you see him get hit with big shots in fights, what does he normally do? He responds, he turns up, he makes sure he hits them with something back, so that way he can steal that moment. He won't let his opponent have that moment. But Crawford's too good, so he's trying to chase Crawford down, and he's trying to land big shots on him, but Crawford just covering it up and just avoiding most of it. But here's where the important part comes in. So at this point, Spence's mind has abandoned caution out of desperation so that he can land big shots and start getting his momentum back. So when you avoid that caution, you start putting yourself in precarious situations. So the high guard is up again, bait, and the big fish is gonna take the bait, but Crawford has the harpoon. And so he lands a big counter there. He stands there in front of him this time rather than circling away and counters him coming in. Exchanges, catch him while he's punching. And then again, here it is, high guard goes up. Spence tries to step in with a jab, gets hit with a jab. Here, Arrow is gonna try and duck inside like how he normally does, either behind a jab up top, a jab to the body, or a left hand. Regardless, he's trying to duck inside, and Crawford's looking for that left hand. He throws it and misses over top that time. A few seconds later, give him a little bit of time. So Errol Spence is gonna come in, ducking again. Crawford's gonna look for that left hand over top. He doesn't see it, he doesn't have the timing right, he doesn't have the angle, so he pulls it back. He pulls it back, it's fast, but it's there. And now look, adjustments. Rather than jumping way out of range or stepping too far back or putting himself out of position, he plants his feet right there, and that's how he's able to land that left hand and then drop him with that shot after. So fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You can't fool him 3 times. Simply put, I think that's what we gonna keep it to for this second round, because there's people that do more technical breakdowns of the specific parts. I'm making big pieces, and we gonna keep going. I don't know how many more rounds I'm gonna break down, but I got more coming for y'all. Immortality Serum out.
How can I die if I'm immortal? Monster in my eyes, I'm immoral. I ain't got no time to be cordial. Ripping up shit, I'm making big decisions. I'm feeling fire and important. Lightning striking and torching all of my problems.